Let's go ahead and take roll call.
Mr. Ballard? You're on mute.
Here.
Mr. Cunningham?
Here.
Mr. Elliott?
Here.
Mr. Taylor?
Here.
And then Mr. Hilsinger.
Here. So we have a total of 5. Next, we have a score sheet in summary from August 31. We have a motion to accept.
Elliott, motion.
I second it. Bill Ballard.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it 5-0. We have no status sheet at this time. No committee reports, Gail.
That's correct.
Okay, and we'll go to the first item, new business.
Connor John Stewart.
God damn.
PC 14-20 Amerco Real Estate Company.
So this is a request for an amended C8 planned commercial district for a site we saw for an amended C8 at the end of last year. The old Kmart Venture Store up on Dunn Road in West Florissant was rezoned so they could operate a U-Haul storage facility at that location. Subsequently, they have, well, the whole time they've had these out parcels you can see on the site plan here. And subsequently, they have some potential tenants who wouldn't fit under the allowed uses as the C8 ordinance is written. So they've requested to add the C2 permitted uses to the C8 ordinance permitted uses. The department feels this is reasonable, especially at this location on West Florissant, and we feel that these two buildings could accommodate the range of C2 permitted uses. So we are recommending approval of this request, and we brought it as a letter of recommendation tonight.
Okay, do we have a motion?
So it's Elliott, I make a motion.
We have,
This is Cunningham. I have a question. Do we know what the other or who the other tenants are?
They had mentioned a child care center perhaps as one of them. I can't remember what the other use they had mentioned, but they were, you know,
Fitness center.
yeah, fitness center or probably a child care center were the two possible uses they mentioned at public hearing.
So if there's anything else other than those two, they have to come back and get it approved?
No, we would be recommending the ordinance be amended. So right now it reads, you know, this C8 shall permit a self-storage facility and all the U-Haul uses, but right now it only says vehicle service and retail uses can be permitted in those two buildings. So we would amend that to say C2 permitted uses, which could be, you know, stores, offices, daycare, or fitness. But it's to allow a little more flexibility in that area of the site.
Oh, okay, that answers my question.
we have a first by Bill. Do we have or by Gary rather? We have a second.
I'll second.
I'll second. It's Cunningham.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it 5-0. And we'll go on to 15-20 MBR management.
Okay, this is a request to amend the C8 ordinance. It's a parcel located on the west side of Telegraph Road, about 100 feet south of Cathedral Drive. A little bit of background about this site. It was originally zoned R3 in 1965, as was this general area. Over the years, properties on Telegraph Road were rezoned to commercial uses. In 1987, this property was rezoned from R3 to C8, allowing permitted uses in the C2. In 1994, it was rezoned to allow medical offices and a physical therapy center, which used the original single-family house structure, which is still there to this day. The use was established, but the but the building is currently vacant. A request for this proposal before you is to amend the C8 to allow for a new restaurant with a pickup window and all permitted uses in the C2 shopping district. The petitioner proposes to replace the existing structure with a new 3,200 square foot building with 2 tenant spaces. Domino's would occupy the southern part of the building, and then a retail space is proposed for the northern part. The site is accessed from Telegraph Road on the east side of the property. There's a total of 20, that should say there's a total of 24 parking spaces with 2 accessible parking spaces. No menu boards or loudspeakers are proposed, and there's a trash enclosure that's proposed on the southern property line. This is the first site development plan that was presented to us. You can see where it's at in the first site plan. They show the access on the northern end of the property, coming from Telegraph Road, as well as 12 parking spaces in the rear. And then go to the next slide. We feel that the proposed use is compatible with prevailing zoning in the area. A restaurant with a pickup window and all permitted uses in the C2 district is appropriate at this location. Drive-through lane is for pickup only, like I said, and no menu boards or speaker systems, like I said. However, there were some requested changes since public hearing and the site plan that you saw at public hearing. Missouri Department of Transportation requested that the entrance be shifted as far south as possible. Additionally, the department had some concern with the amount of parking behind the structure, which was close to nearby residential properties. So they presented a new site plan to us that shows increased rear parking setback from 15 feet to 24 feet. However, the planning department is recommending that buffer along the western property line be increased to 40 feet, just to provide enough buffer space between this use and the residential properties behind it. Landscape plan that they provided, which shows some additional landscaping in addition to some of the mature trees that are currently there, as well as a site-proof fence along the western and northern properties to buffer it from the residential properties. So our recommendation is approval. We feel that a Domino's restaurant with a pickup window and all C2 permitted are appropriate at this location and is in keeping with the commercial character of Telegraph Road. And also the C8 planned commercial district will ensure compatibility with surrounding developments.
Okay, thank you. We need a motion.
Taylor, move for approval.
I second it, Bill.
Any discussion?
I do have a question though, Wayne. Does that property slope back to those homes or back out to Telegraph Road?
It's a pretty flat lot.
Yeah, it's pretty flat. I'm trying to remember when I was there.
Looks like it's a little higher in the back, but it only goes about, oh wait. No, it's pretty flat, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't change much at all. Not noticeable anyway.
And right now, it's pretty much an eyesore.
MSD? What did MSD say about this?
In
I
their
don't have
Looking at it right now.
I don't have it in front of me.
Oh, you don't have your.
No.
They will have to conform to what it says. What they're going to look at is right now, there is a building on the property and, a small amount of parking in the front. And they are going to be, this is less than 1 acre, so be considered not a major land disturbance, but they will certainly have to conform to the requirements of MSD with regard to detention.
All righty. Thanks, Gail.
Okay, anyone else? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it 5-0. And next we've got PC 1620 and 1720, McBride Berra Land Company.
So this is a request for a change in zoning from the NU non-urban to the R2 residence district, as well as requesting a planned environment unit procedure. This site is located in West St. Louis County, south of Big Bend Road on the east side of Reese Road. So I've included this aerial of the site with the contours on it so you can see the two streams that run through the site are the blue lines there. And the two red circles show the highest elevation on the site, 608, and the lowest, which is 512. So there's a pretty, there's some pretty significant grading slopes throughout this site. So the petitioner is requesting this zoning change to 42 single-family residences. 38 of these lots would be accessed by a new street off of Reese Road. 2 lots are shown with driveways on Reese Road itself, and then 2 lots are shown with no frontage on Reese Road, accessed by a 20-foot road, an existing 20-foot road easement. The lot sizes on the preliminary development plan range from about 6,500 square feet to just 26,000. Here's the site plan. They are showing 3 stormwater detention / water quality areas in the site. The 2 lots highlighted in yellow here are the 2 lots proposed to front Reese Road directly with private driveways. And then the 2 lots outlined in red are the lots proposed to be accessed via the roadway easement. Regarding the request for the change in zoning, the department feels that this, the R2 is compatible with the prevailing zoning district. There's R2 to the north, and the west side is pretty much developed in the R3 with single family residences. Additionally, the staff feels that the PEU procedure is appropriate. That would allow this site to be developed in a similar manner to nearby developments in regards to lot size, lot width, setbacks, and right-of-way width. So there are some recommended modifications to the site plan. The department does not feel it would be appropriate to add an additional private driveway to Reese Road. So we are recommending allowing this lot outlined in yellow, but the northern lot that I had shown right on Reese Road, the department does not recommend allowing that. Additionally, the subdivision ordinance states that lots less than 3 acres in size must front a road to county standards. And that means that the 2 lots that were shown off the roadway easement in the sort of northern portion of the site could not be developed as proposed. Additionally, the Department of Planning and the Department of Transportation would require that the the terminus right now that is in a T turnaround would need to be a full subdivision cul-de-sac. Additionally, the staff would like the petitioner to investigate a possible pedestrian connection to Castlewood State Park to the south. So I'm showing a little access here along on the south side of the main road where they could, in common ground, have a pedestrian connection to that trail system. So that's something we would like them to look into. Additionally, to preserve the sort of semi-rural nature of Reese Road, staff would require a 20-foot landscape easement buffer area along the frontage of Reese Road. This wouldn't be common ground. This would be a landscape easement with some significant plantings. And additionally, we would require additional planting over here, the eastern boundary of the site. You can see that only one side of the road is developed with homes. So we would like some landscaping on the eastern side to sort of buffer the buffer the development. So we are recommending approval of this request. We're recommending a minimum lot size of 7,200 square feet and 60 feet of frontage, 60 feet wide lots. The setbacks would be 20 feet, 25 feet from Reese Road, 20 feet from the internal streets, 15-foot rear yard setback, and a 5-foot side yard setback. Additionally, due to those creeks I had shown on the aerial, we would be requiring a 25-foot non-disturbed buffer from the top of those stream banks. And then from that 25-foot buffer, another 25-foot structure setback from the creek. Additionally, like I mentioned, a 20-foot landscape easement along Reese Road, and we are recommending 2 trees per lot. Those can be in the front or the backyard, all Missouri native with an I.
How does this change the number of homes versus what they originally asked for?
So they could reconfigure it a little bit, but they wouldn't have those two lots up north. It would probably decrease the number of lots. I'm not exactly sure by how many.
Okay, because that's a bad area traffic wise. There's just,
We did reach out to the Department of Transportation regarding, what this would do to the volume on Reese Road. And they didn't have a concern. They felt that it wasn't, if around 40 homes wouldn't add too much. Let's see. They thought it would not be detrimental to this road or up to Big Bend.
Okay. Anyone else? Questions? Seeing none, we need a motion.
So moved.
Bill Ballard make a motion for approval.
Who's the second?
Keith Taylor.
Okay. Discussion.
this is contingent upon them accepting everything that the staff's asking, right?
Yeah, let me amend that and say I make a motion for approval with the recommended implications that the planning department has indicated.
Right. What the next step would be, Gary, is that before you look at this in letter of recommendation form, we would forward this report to the applicant for review. So they do have an opportunity to take a look at this recommendation with conditions, and we would present that to you before you vote on this again. Is that what you meant?
Okay. We have a motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it 5-0. And next we have, well, we did 1420 already, which was in the letter form. Correspondence, we have PC 206-77.
Hi, this is Debbie. This is PC 206-77. Richard Duckett is a CA and floodplain CA planned commercial district site located on the north side of Manchester Road, west of Barrett Station Road. This is a long-established automobile transmission shop, and it has recently changed hands, or it's going to change hands, and the new owner wanted some clarification. I would point out to you, you go to the next slide, Mel. There's 77, the zone, when this went to public hearing, the zoning ordinance did not define auto transmission facility, nor did it, or shop, nor did it define vehicle service or vehicle repair. And so the request was to do transmission work here, so that was what it was advertised for, and that's the way the C8 ordinance reads. In 1982, with major revisions to the zoning ordinance, we redid a bunch of definitions, and one of the things we did was we added vehicle repair facility. A vehicle repair facility allows for engine work, transmission repair, and it's a more clear way of describing this use. So there's no proposal to change the building. There's no proposal to add additional bays or change parking. They just want to clarify that the permitted use is something that's currently defined in the zoning ordinance. So this ordinance, this letter before you is just to clarify that vehicle repair facility in lieu of the words transmission service shop.
Would it be safe to say that we're just making the language match what they're already doing?
Yeah. Yes, we are. And the zoning ordinance and the way the zoning ordinance defines it.
Okay.
Okay, we have a motion.
I'll make the motion, Gary Elliott.
I second it. Bill Ballard.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it 5-0. Any site plans?
Not tonight. I don't
No
believe so.
site plans.
Okay, and that's it.
Oh.
Okay, we need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn, Elliot.
Second motion, Taylor.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it 5-0. And Gail, when are we back?
Well, we were not anticipating a public hearing in October, but there might be a slim chance that we could have one on the 26th. We'll be evaluating that this week.
Okay,
What's that gonna be, Gail?
Mel, help me out. What would that be?
So there are two possibles. One of them is this out parcel of South County Mall.
Yeah.
I think they need to go to C8, Gail, that little one.
Yes.
For certain parking reasons, I think. And then the other one, there's this existing C8 up on Chambers that was a service station and then a U-Haul. And there's a woman interested in developing it as a small market. So those are our two possibles.
And then also, I might add, I think at our last executive meeting, at the corner of Redmond and 367, there was a gas station convenience store sign
C-store, right.
Right.
that we had said a new public hearing would be warranted. So we might try to put them on a public hearing docket.
okay,
That's right.
okay.
So we'll keep you informed.
We'll wait to hear. Okay, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you so much, everyone. Have a good rest of the
Bye.
Okay, you
Bye-bye.
too.
Bye.